Coming up next, you're going to be playing as Sonic the Hedgehog characters on Hunger Games Simulator.
As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Shadow grabs a sword. Omoko runs away from the cornucopia. Sticks and Shade fight for a bag. Shade gives up and retreats. Cream runs away from the cornucopia. Knuckles runs away from the cornucopia. Charmy Bee runs away from the cornucopia. Cheese the Chow takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Jet runs away from the cornucopia. Wave falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Storm runs away from the cornucopia. Sonic breaks Vector's nose for a basket of bread. Sally Acorn runs away from the cornucopia. Rouge runs away from the cornucopia. Tikal grabs a backpack and retreats. Metal Sonic runs away from the cornucopia. Tails and Big fight for a bag. Big gives up and retreats. SBO takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Dr. Eggman runs away from the cornucopia. Omega runs away from the cornucopia. Silver runs away from the cornucopia. Amy Rose takes a handful of throwing knives. Storm and Amy Rose split up to search for resources. Tikal, Cheese the Chow, SBO, and Silver raid Sally Acorn's camp while she is hunting. Shadow collects fruit from a tree. Shade makes a wooden spear. Sticks, Rouge, Metal Sonic, and Big hunt for other tributes. Tails makes a slingshot. Charmy Bee injures himself. Cream picks flowers. Dr. Eggman questions his sanity. Omoko receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Omega defeats Sonic in a fight, but spares his life. Vector steals from Knuckles while he isn't looking. Jet receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Omega, Sonic, Storm, and Amy Rose tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Charmy Bee receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Tails fends Shade, Sticks, and Cheese the Chow away from his fire. Sally Acorn and Knuckles sleep in shifts. Cream receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Omoko is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Tikal silently snaps Jet's neck. Big passes out from exhaustion. Rouge lets Shadow into her shelter. SBO sees a fire, but stays hidden. Silver is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Metal Sonic convinces Dr. Eggman to snuggle with him. Vector unknowingly eats toxic berries. Big sprains his ankle while running away from Amy Rose.
Hang on a minute. 1 second. There we go.
Omega constructs a shack. Big sprains his ankle while running away from Amy Rose. Storm searches for a water source. Shade discovers a cave. Silver sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. SBO collects fruit from a tree. Sticks diverts Tails' attention and runs away. Metal Sonic searches for firewood. Dr. Eggman receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Charmy Bee diverts Cream's attention and runs away. Sally Acorn scares Omoko off. Sonic searches for a water source. Shadow injures himself. Knuckles and Tikal fight Rouge and Cheese the Chow. Rouge and Cheese the Chow survive. Shadow cooks his food before putting his fire out. Silver, Sticks, Amy Rose, SBO, and Big sleep in shifts. Charmy Bee and Shade huddle for warmth. Rouge sees a fire, but stays hidden. Omega tries to treat his infection. Cheese the Chow accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Storm looks at the night sky. Dr. Eggman tracks down and kills Omoko. Cream stays awake all night. Tails sees a fire, but stays hidden. Sonic attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Metal Sonic starts a fire. Sally Acorn receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. SBO stalks Shade. Tails, Dr. Eggman, Rouge, Cream, and Metal Sonic hunt for other tributes. Shadow begs for Silver to kill him. He refuses, keeping Shadow alive. Sonic attempts to climb a tree, but falls to his death. Amy Rose and Charmy Bee split up to search for resources. Sticks thinks about home. Big defeats Omega in a fight, but spares his life. Sally Acorn scares Storm off. A fire spreads throughout the arena. Sticks survives. Charmy Bee survives. SBO survives. Amy Rose falls to the ground, but kicks Sally Acorn hard enough to then push her into the fire. Metal Sonic survives. The fire catches up to Dr. Eggman, killing him. Cream survives. Rouge survives. Omega survives. Storm kills Big in order to utilize a body of water safely. Shade survives. Silver survives. Tails falls to the ground, but kicks Shadow hard enough to then push him into the fire. Amy, Rose, and Storm run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Espio attacks Omega, but Cream protects him, killing Espio. Silver unknowingly eats toxic berries. Rouge receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Tails, Metal Sonic, and Stick sleep in shifts. Charmy Bee receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Shade receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Rouge injures herself. Charmy Bee searches for firewood. Metal Sonic injures himself. Shade practices his archery. Styx receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Cream and Tails split up to search for resources. Storm attacks Amy Rose, but she manages to escape. Omega dies from hunger. Cream receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Rouge questions her sanity. Metal Sonic screams for help. Charmy Bee receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Tails goes to sleep. Shade unknowingly eats toxic berries. Amy Rose destroys Storm's supplies while he is asleep. Styx starts a fire. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Tails decides not to go to the feast. Metal Sonic pushes Rouge off a cliff during a knife fight. Styx stuffs a bundle of dry clothing into a backpack before sprinting away. Amy Rose decides not to go to the feast. Cream ambushes Storm and kills him. Charmy Bee decides not to go to the feast. Styx tries to sleep through the entire day. Metal Sonic poisons Charmy Bee's drink. He drinks it and dies. Tails stalks Amy Rose. Cream goes hunting. Amy Rose climbs a tree to rest. Tails tries to treat his infection. Styx convinces Metal Sonic to snuggle with her. Cream receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Cream sets Tails on fire with a Molotov. Styx receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Metal Sonic picks flowers. Amy Rose goes hunting. Cream sets up camp for the night. Amy Rose strangles Metal Sonic with a rope. Styx questions her sanity. Amy Rose sees smoke rising in the
hang on a
distance,
minute. There we go.
Styx receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Amy Rose sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Cream practices her archery.
Excuse me.
Amy Rose screams for help. Cream sets up camp for the night. Styx bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Amy Rose shoots a poisonous blow dart into Cream's neck, slowly killing her.
Oh my goodness.
Proceed.
Oh, hang on. 1 second. There we go.
Blog.
Oh, wait.
Reddit.
Hold on a minute. There we go.
The winner is Amy Rose from District 3.
It's a great game with Sonic the Hedgehog characters on Hunger Games Simulator. All right. I'm going to wrap it up for this gameplay, and I'll see you for the next one.